Looks like we're live. How's everybody doing? Look, I got 35 people here waiting already. Nice to see everyone. Got 9 thumbs up already. I didn't even say anything. Jason Wilkerson jumping right in off the get-go. Mike F jumping right in also. Mike, nice talking to you the other day on the email. Terry Lacey jumping in. Boy, oh boy. Steve Ordway. Good to see everyone. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday to you. So I got the computer screen going here so I can read the chats a little bit easier. But man, look at everybody jumping in. Jason C, Captain Crow, Greg Schmidt, Gary Davey, Chris Olson, Matt Kohler, Jeff Russell, Nick Padula, Mike Ventura. Good to see you, Mike. Jeff Abbott, Mark Somerville, Dennis Clement. Man, all sorts of people jumping in. Happy Sunday back to you, Terry Lacey. Good to see you, buddy. Reinhardt. What's up in Muskegon, Ryan? How you doing down there? How's the fishing? Mark Pearson. Boy, that's a name that's been on here a long time. Good to see you, Mark. Yeah, M. Herman, I agree. Looks like fishing weather to me, too. Rick Fashionado. Everett. Jason Wilkerson. Co-host Smash Fest in Indiana. That's what I heard, Jason. I hear it's just lights out down there. Were you down there? If you were, throw some information in there, please. Steve Ordway is saying spring is here. Man, I don't want to jinx it, Steve. That's the only thing. It's as soon as I say spring is here, spring's not going to be here anymore. Winter's going to come kick our butts. And it seems to happen every year. As soon as somebody says, hey, spring is here, we get 4 feet of snow. Patrick McGovern, good to see you, man. Mike, thanks for the thumbs. Oh, also, Mr. Herman, thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. So, if you know about, I've said this before, YouTube is huge on the thumbs up thing. The more thumbs up I get, the more their algorithm picks that up. And the more they promote the videos. The more, well, not promote them, but the more they'll put the videos into people's suggested box. So the thumbs up are a big thing for a YouTube channel. So I appreciate all those that I get. It does help the channel. And it doesn't hurt too much just to click that thumbs up button. I don't think it does. I've done it before. I've done it a few times. Patrick Forrester, great appearance on Reel to Reel. Yay, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, I had a great time with those guys. If you guys haven't seen that yet, hey, there's some thumbs up coming in, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Reel to Reel Outdoors. It's Reel, the number 2, Reel Outdoors. My buddy Adam down in Ludington runs Hiatus Charters. He runs that channel. He invited me to come down last week, and I got to sit down with him and a couple other great captains. George Freeman was there, who's a guy I completely respect, runs Freestyle Charters out of Ludington, man. And we sat down, we did a captain's roundtable, and we covered 5 different topics. And the first one came out last Thursday. If you haven't seen it, jump on there. He's got a pretty good channel and a lot of good information. But we talked about spring lake trout tactics last week. And I don't know what's going to be coming out. Like I said, there's 5 different sessions. So every Thursday, a new session's going to come out. We talked about a bunch of stuff. We talked about the spring laker. We talked about how often are we changing our baits. We're talked about meat rigs. Those are all different sessions. So it's really good stuff. If you haven't checked it out, please do. And leave them a comment or something to tell them I sent you. Greetings from the North Shore of Lake O, Dave McFall. Good to see you. Todd Bone, Charlie Chevier. Boy, I hope I'm saying that right. Mark McConney, man, how's it going up there in Superior? So you got out yesterday. How's it going? Water's still cold? I bet it is. Lake Superior's always cold. Steve Ordway, buddy, got 2 coho off First Street Pier in Manistee a few days ago. Yeah, there's some coho lurking around the pier heads right now, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So we're getting like 5 minutes into this. Right around 5 minutes, I'll do the fishing report. And then tonight we're going to talk about some spring tactics. A lot of people were asking for like refresher on coho and whatnot. So we're going to talk about that. But really, coho, kings, lake trout, steelhead browns in the springtime, really we can gel that all up into one thing and talk about it all at one time. Because really the tactics are very similar. And it's not hard to do. It's really not. Don't be intimidated by it. You know, people talk about going out coho fishing. I don't know how to coho fish. It's really no different than just going out there and king fishing, just changing a few things. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. I got a whole bunch of stuff laid out in front of me. Some baits we'll go over, some other things. Jeff Spear, good to see you, man. Scott Wagner, saw the first 2 episodes. Cool thing to do. Good. Glad you liked it, Scott. Thanks, man. All right. Okay, fishing report around here. Of course, the ice is off. Well, it's not off. We got a little cold streak here a couple days ago. Had a little snow dump back on us, so the lakes got a little skim back on them. You know, when the water's that cold, it doesn't take long to get ice back on the lake. So, haven't seen a whole lot of boats. I haven't seen no boats in Onekama. I've seen no boats, obviously, in Bear Lake or anything like that. There has been some right out here in Manistee Lake. They've been getting a few perch out there. Nothing great, nothing hot and heavy. Excuse me. But the pier heads have been good. If you want to get out here and go fishing right now and you don't have a boat, come on out here and grab the pier heads. If you don't have the gear, or if you want to talk about that, if you don't know how to pier fish, maybe that's something we can talk about in later discussions. I'm not a pier guy. I'm going to tell you that right now. There are people out there that know a ton more than I know about pier fishing. But if I can get somebody to come on here, maybe do a Sunday night discussion that way, do a little interview thing, a little back and forth, I'd love to do that. So I'll search around. I'm sure I can find somebody around here that'd be willing to do that. But yeah, if you're in the area and you want to get out and get some fish right now, you don't have a boat, hop out on the pier. Sounds like spawn bags have been better than anything else. I'm just floating spawn right off the bottom, chucking little small spoons as well. That some fish have been showing up. I haven't heard of any steelhead around there, but some cohos have definitely been around, and lake trout have been around as well. But there's been some surf fishing right out here on the shore of Lake Michigan, going right down Lakeshore Road. Seen a few guys out there. I didn't stop and talk to them. A lot of times I do that. I see guys out there, I'll just pull up and talk. Probably think I'm nuts. But anyway, I saw a few guys out there, so I have no doubt that they're probably catching some fish. The lake trout right now and the browns, they're going to be in really tight. They're going to be in that cold. What they're looking for is warmer water. And a couple degrees here and there on Lake Michigan is a huge difference to a fish. So if the water out there is like 38 and they can find like 40, 41 degree water, that's where you're going to find the fish. But we'll talk about that a little bit more here when we get into this little springtime session. So pier fishing, shore fishing can be great right now. Stop in the shop if you need, like I said, if you need spawn or anything like that, we got it right here. We got all the gear that you could want. And if you don't know how to do it, the guys that are here, they're normally going to help you right out. They'll get you hooked up. Cool. Hey, my sister Laura's here. Hey, Laura, how you doing? All right, so what else we got around here for fishing report? The river has been decent. Not great, but decent. I did get a report from my buddy down in Muskegon, the Muskegon area today. It sounds like it's about the same thing. 1 or 2, maybe 3 bites per trip. Not crazy lights out bites right now. Floating beads still seems to be the number one. Did talk to a guy the other day that was floating plugs. Said he was doing okay. By okay, I didn't really push it. I didn't want to ask too much, but you know, a couple 3 fish a trip, that's not a bad thing right now. But I think we're right on the precipice of some really good steelhead fishing in the river. I think, boy, I think if we got a really good couple days of rain and cleared that river right out a little more, I think we're right on the edge of some really good steelhead fishing. So if you're looking to get out in the river, I think now is the time to be out there and looking for it, because I think it's really going to turn on. And I could be completely wrong. I've been wrong many times before. I'm good at being wrong, but I think it's gonna show up here pretty darn soon. So that's really it on the fishing report. Hopefully I'll be having the boat out here pretty soon myself. I think in just a couple of weeks. I'll give it a couple more weeks to make sure the weather holds off. I'll get it out and I'll start getting it prepped up. And is that something you guys would be interested in? Some boat prep stuff or sprint or set? I don't know. Tell me what you think. I don't want to bore anybody. You know, I go out there and put wax on the side of a boat. I don't know if I'd want to watch that, but if you guys do, hey, I'll be happy to put a video up on that. Or just getting in the water, you know, getting it off the, getting it cradled out into the water, getting it set up. If that's something you're interested in, please leave me a comment. I'm happy to do something like that for you. Anyway, what we got going on here in the chat? So Jason Wilkerson says, cranks on flat lines, Dodger fly, keel weights, divers and riggers, orange, black, and purple flies. Good information, Jason. Thanks, man. Nick Padula says, yeah, boat prep. Okay, we'll see what we can do. Jeff Russell wants coho colors, so we're going to talk about that here, Jeff. I just wanted to give it a little more time. Hey, Scott Ergetsinger's here. So if you guys have never talked with Scott before, Scott is the general manager at Dreamweaver. Scott's a great guy, great fisherman, runs his own boat. He's a charter captain also. If you got any questions about Dreamweaver or just want to talk with Scott, he comes on here many Sundays, and I'm always happy to have him here. So thanks for being here, Scott. You guys bounce some things off him. That's what he's here for. A lot of the companies that I talk with, like especially Dreamweaver, and especially Purple Taco Fly Supply, they listen to the anglers. They just don't grab a color, and say, let's paint this thing up, and yeah, that looks good, throw it on a shelf. That's not the way they do things. They test the stuff. They talk to anglers. They test their stuff through captains, recreational fishermen, you name it. So these guys are always looking for more information. The more information, feedback that all of you can give them, this is a great source to do that. The more you can give back to them, man, that's exactly what they want. So again, Scott, thanks for being here, buddy. I haven't seen Leroy Downing yet tonight. And maybe he is, maybe I missed him, but Leroy is normally on here also from Purple Taco Fly Supply. Again, Leroy also loves hearing feedback from all of you out there on whatever's working. So, all right. Yes to the boat prep from Chris E. Spring opening, please. Slower bite in St. Joe, managed 4 for 5. Not bad. Hey, 4 for 5 that's not bad. Mark Stahl just stocked up on some mini spin doctors. Mini spin doctors, absolutely. Hoping to get after some coho. Thanks, Scott. You're welcome back to you, buddy. Cohos and Browns starting to show up here in Milwaukee. Cool, Mark. Let's see. Am I going to try that last name? Mark Karelowicz. Close? I hope so. Sorry if I did that bad. Got a chance to stop by Dreamweaver last week. Went up in Ludington, picked up some meat strips. Was cool to see the shop. Yeah, absolutely. I love going to Dreamweaver. I could hang out there all day. They'd probably have to kick me out. Honestly, I could hang out there all day. It's like candy to me. I just walk around, I stare at everything, and eventually they kick me out. But I do like going there every now and then. Jason C. putting a fish hawk on this week. Jason, you will not be disappointed in having a fish hawk on that boat. When I was doing the Reel to Reel podcast last week, one of the things that we talked about, and George Freeman, who, like I said, is a guy I completely respect, he said the same thing as I do. You can take every piece of equipment off my boat, just don't take my fish hawk. That's how important those things are. Beck Tactical Rescue, just jumping in with a big old hey with an exclamation point. Mark, closer than most? All right, thanks. I'll take it. I'll take it. Who won the gear from last week? You're jumping ahead of me, Patrick. But hey, I'll tell you right now. So last week it was a clear diver that I tied up with a double chrome with a spin and glow, if I remember right. I'm sure that was pretty darn close. And I said pick a number between 1 and 1,000. Put it in the comments. Nobody got it. But the closest, the number was 711. I thought for sure somebody just get 711. That's the first one that popped into my head when I was picking a number. But Barfly 1382 got it as close as anybody, or closer than anybody else, was 714. So Barfly 1382, you win that stuff from last week. If you can send me your address, please, just email me, christangletackle@gmail.com. Excuse me, I just had some chicken strips on the way here to the shop. Yeah, if you can email me your address, I'll be happy to send that out to you. So yeah, you get a nice diver. It's all tied up, all set for lake trout fishing. Mark, yeah, Mark McConnell, yeah, Fish Hawk, single best tool, absolutely. Yeah, man, I was just blown away when after a while when you fish, you get out there quite a bit. You start figuring out kind of what your speeds are. You can watch your riggers pull back, and you can watch your divers pull back. You can watch your boards. You get an idea on really, well, not really close, but you get an idea really kind of somewhat close on what your speed might be. But I tell you what, you put a fish hawk on there, and your closest guess will never be as good as a fish hawk. Yeah. All right, so let's. How long are we into this thing? We're 14 minutes in. Let's go over some spring tactics here. And like I said, don't be intimidated by spring. People talk about, hey, let's go coho fishing. Let's go brown trout fishing. Let's go king. It all really morphs into really the same thing. It's really like king fishing in the summertime. but you just got to change for where you're fishing. And typically in early spring, like first ice out early spring, you're gonna be fishing right up on the shallows. And by shallows, I mean right off. Normally that third sandbar is right where I'm sitting. And my normal setup is two downriggers, and I normally put one pretty close to the bottom and one maybe mid-range to the bottom. I'm normally running two divers. I'm running two slide divers typically. I like slide divers in the early spring because I like, when you're fishing that shallow, the fish can get real spooky on a boat. So having your baits back there a nice long way, that does help. And I will, on my downriggers also, I'll extend my leads back, 75, even 100 feet back to give it a little more stealth away from the boat. My boards, I try to run as many boards as I can. Typically, it's about 3 per side, and there's a lot of different ways you can go on that. A lot of guys will go all flat lines, just mono flat lines back there. And a lot of people think, well, if I'm running all the same depth, how am I now going to get tangled on those boards? And that's a really good question. I've had a couple of those asked. So what happens when a fish hits that board, it's going to start pulling that thing back. It's going to start getting separation away from your other lines as well. And those fish also typically start coming up to the surface. So as the fish fatigues more and it pulls the board back more, and as it pulls the board back further away from the boat, it'll come up over those other lines. So you don't have to worry about tangles so much that way. But I had a couple guys ask me that, and that was a really good question. So flat lines out there, or 1 color, 2 color, 3 color, 4 color, and 5 colors, all outstanding as well. Obviously, your deepest colors go close to the boat and stagger them out that way. So, like I said, springtime, I'm normally right off that third sandbar, anywhere from 15 to 20 foot of water. And I'm targeting really, cohos are going to be there, lake trout for sure are going to be there, browns are going to be there, and you're going to, every now and then, you're going to run into a spring king. And you're going to know it when you get a spring king out there. That's when the fun really starts, because there's nothing in the world that fights like a spring king. Those things are absolute torpedoes out there. So again, that's my setup. Usually 2 downriggers, one real close to the bottom. That's where the lake trout are going to be, and one about mid-range down, or maybe a few feet above the other one. Couple of slide divers out there. One I put right down next to the bottom. The other one also about mid-range. Then I'm staggering out my lead cores or just my flat lines. 1 colors, 2 colors, 3 colors, all the way up to about 5 colors. And what I'm looking for in the springtime, I already said this before, is temperature. Temperature is huge for the fish in the spring. If you're thinking about it, if the water's 38 degrees all around and all of a sudden they find a little spot of 40 or 41 degree water, that's where they're going to want to be, because that's where the bait fish are going to be as well. That's where they're going to start congregating. So what I'll typically do is, if I find that warm patch of water, I'll troll through it, and after I'm through it, I'll come around and I'll go out on the deeper side of it. So if I was fishing 20 feet before, 15 to 20 feet, when I come back around, I'll go 35, maybe even 40 feet deep. And I'll make that circle back through, see if that cold water or that warmer water extends out a little bit deeper as well, because that's where a lot of the time the fish are going to be. Come around on the outside a little deeper, I'll make my turn, and I'll come right back through that 15 to 20 foot again. And if I'm picking up fish, of course I'm going to stay there. But if that warm water's there, I'm probably going to make 2 or 3, maybe even 4 passes through there to see if I can find some active fish. So that's my typical springtime setup. Now let's talk about some of the baits here that absolutely knock these things out of the park. Of course, somebody already mentioned it, the 6-inch spin doctors. These things are fantastic with peanut flies. Or if you don't know how to, well, let me say this. If you want to learn to tie peanut fly, we have a video right here on this channel. Just search it up. Just search it up, and you will you'll find that really, really easy to do. But if you don't want to take, go through that hassle, you can take a normal fly. I'm not going to do it. This is a brand new fly, but you can take a normal fly like this Aqua Gold Glow is a fantastic fly. Take the fly off there, take the beads off, trim that fly right down to about 2 to 2.25 inches. That's all you got to do. Take the beads off there, let the hook just sit there, trim that fly right down, like I said, at 2, maybe 2.25 inches. Put the line back there. You're good to go. You got yourself a peanut fly. You don't have to tie peanut flies if you don't want to. You can take regular flies, trim them down. It's a pretty quick and easy way to do it. So, peanut flies behind the 6-inch spin doctors, peanut flies behind the smaller 6-inch Lure Jensen Dodgers, metal Dodgers. These things have taken gazillions of coho and everything else over the year. Just remember, if you're running Dodgers, you got to take your speed down. We'll talk a little bit more about speed here in a second. But these Dodgers, they don't like fast speeds. They'll what they want to do in the water, the correct rotation on these It's just like a swaying back and forth. You get going too fast on these things and they'll start spinning like a spin doctor, and that's not what you want. You got to take your speed down on these. Typical speeds for me, springtime, 2, maybe 2.1, 2.2, maybe even on the slower side, 1.8, 1.9. Slower is really better in the springtime. You got to think about it. Those fish are cold. They're somewhat lethargic. They don't want to chase down a bait doing 2.5 to 2.7 or something like that. All right, so peanut flies. I got a whole bag of them right here. We'll talk about these more in a little bit. Brad thin fins. Absolutely love these. And that is my favorite color right there for springtime. The red with the orange squiggles on it. Absolutely love these things. They got a nice rattle in them. One of my other favorites is that orange fire tiger. Love that thing as well. And another thing here, just mag lips. The 3.5 mag lips. Love these things as well. So one little tip I'll give you on body baits, and I got another couple of them here. One little tip I'll give you on body baits, like these Husky Jerks. I don't have any in the shop, so I can't show it to you, but I have found that natural colors are better in the springtime. Golds and silvers are really what I run the most. The big gaudy colors, they don't seem to work as well. So I run a lot of the natural colors. Gold and silvers are my go-tos in the spring. Absolute go-tos. Yozuris, the Yozuri Crystal Minnows, man, those things are awesome in the springtime. Again, in the silvers and the golds, those are fantastic. Another one of my favorite spring colors, and this is a Storm, but that green tiger right there, boy, in the springtime, that thing is an absolute fish destroyer. Excuse me. So these, what I'm normally doing is I'm putting all these spoons and everything out. I'll talk more about spoons here in a sec, but these are all normally going on my long lines. My downriggers, I'm putting spoons on as well. Maybe a spin doctor with a fly on there, but typically spoons. And then my divers, that's where I'm normally putting my rotators and my flies on. Some of my other absolute favorites for springtime, and this thing right here is a lake trout destroyer. The Buffalo Bill, that green over green. And you can see in that hole right there, it's got a bright orange back in that thing. Boy, lake trout will jump all over that all day long. I've talked about this before. Gold blank spoons, I love them in the springtime. That double orange crush on a gold blank, another absolute magnet. Spotted Magic Man, I mean, that thing's taking gazillions of fish, and that one has an orange tape on the back as well. Excuse me. Firecracker, big bright orange spoons like that, absolutely. I pulled a few other ones over here I wanted to show you. But of course, like I was talking about, the Husky Jerks, the size 12 Husky Jerks, those things are a staple. One thing I will say about Husky Jerks and the Brad thin fins, if you're out there and you got browns around, browns are spooky, spooky fish. A lot of times, these Husky Jerks and these Brads, they got rattles in them. They will flee from those rattles. They will get up and go. So if you're not getting bit and you know you got fish there, try switching over to the regular Rapalas, the regular floaters that don't have any rattles in them. Just go all spoons as well. That might be the ticket for you. But a few others I pulled out of here, some of my favorite. The Rasta Goose, that one's got a gold blank on it. Love that thing. You can never go wrong in the springtime with just the dolphins. The spotted blue dolphin, the green dolphin, the holographic blue dolphin. You cannot go wrong with those things. Those things are absolute must-haves in the boat in the springtime. Really any time, but those are absolute must-haves. Super Slims, you see me holding up a lot of these, that's my size in the spring. Super Slims. I don't go regular size and I don't go mags in the spring. Some guys do, and hey, if that's their confidence bait, good. I completely agree with them. I'm a Dreamweaver guy through and through. And those Slims, I just held up a regular now. Of course, I say Slim and I hold up a regular. But those Slims are absolute must-haves in the springtime. Really any time, but especially the spring. So there's another one of the great ones, the NBK. Love that thing in the spring. The Rasta Goose and the gold. The Captain Gary, Michigan Dolphin. Boy, that thing is a great one. And then my all-time favorite spoon, any time of the year, the Glow Frog with the white belly. And it's got to have the white belly. Otherwise, it does not go on the line for me. So, I hope that helps you out in some way with some springtime tactics. Just get out there and go for it. That's the best advice I can give you. Just get after it. Go hit those shallow waters. Find out those warmer spots. Get on Coast Watch. You can see the You can see the water temps. A lot of times you'll pick up little tidbits of information on Coast Watch. You'll see maybe where some warmer water is forming. Just remember on that, or on the Coast Watch, and I can't pop it up right here on the live video, but if you just search Coast Watch, you'll find the temperature map. Just remember on that map though, wherever the darker shaded areas are, the temperatures are going to be wrong. That's cloud cover in that satellite imagery. And wherever that cloud cover is, the temps are going to be wrong on the water. Ask me how I learned that the hard way. Because I thought one day I found the mother lode of all the best water I could ever find. And then my buddy looked at me like I was growing an arm out of my head because I was that damn dumb. I can't say that word. Like never say that word. But I was that stupid. I thought that the water was that warm and it was just cloud cover. So that's how you learn. That's always how you learn. All right. Anybody got any questions regarding what I just went over? Love my shirt. That's my mom. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Yeah, the Goonies. Love the Goonies. Been watching that since I was a kid. All right. What am I missing here? Scott answering some questions for me. Thanks, Scott. You're my cleanup man. I appreciate it. Whatever I miss, I appreciate you being there to help me out. Yeah, you're talking about leader length, I'm sure. Yeah, 3 times the length of the rotator is normally a good rule of thumb. That'll get you right in the ballpark. How about a quick down and dirty setup for boards? How much lead, yada, yada. Yeah, Corey, we talked about that a little already, but yeah, my typical setup for spring is a 1 or 2 color on the outside, a 3 color in the middle, and a 4 or 5 color on the inside closest to the boat, running off my Ninja boards. Tony Long, great movie. It is a good movie. I still, if I'm flipping channels, Tony, and I see the Goonies come on, I'll stop and I'll watch it. I still love that movie. What size slide diver? Let me see if I got one. Hold on. Well, we don't have a slide diver in the shop right now. I go with my normal standard size slide divers. I don't go to the small ones. Same ones I use for Lake Michigan. And another thing I'll say on that, a lot of guys, they think they got to buy a new rod and reel setup for the springtime because they want smaller monofilament on there. Like 12 pound is my normal go-to for spring. 12 pound and just standard big game is what I go. I don't go fluorocarbon. But what I'll do on my downriggers, because I got 25 pound line in my downrigger rods, I'll just take a 100-foot section of 12 pound. I'll just tie a double uni knot, put that leader on there, and I'll just use that for my springtime stuff. You don't need to buy whole new setups. Just tie on some leaders. Yeah, Dennis, I was just talking about that. Do I use lighter line? Yeah, 12 pound is my go-to in the spring. It seems to be a little bit stealthier, of course, and the fish are much spookier in the springtime. Of course, you're running shallow water. Boat noise plays a big part of that, so the fish do spook off a little more. I think the lighter lines and the stealthier presentations are the way to go. I think that's most likely why I get most of the bites on my divers and my long lines. Away from the boat, away from the noise. What is your opinion on downrigger rub snubbers? I guess I don't know what a rub snubber is. If you're talking about just a regular downrigger snubber, absolutely, 100% absolutely. The Dreamweaver Dead Set release is my downrigger snubber. And I will swear by that thing all day, every day. I got one at home and I don't have one here, and I know we don't have one at the shop. But it's 50-pound rubber snubber on there where it connects to your cannonball. Yeah, rubber, thank you. Yeah, 50-pound snubber on there, connects to your cannonball. I put my probe above that on my probe rigger. And yeah, absolutely swear by it. After losing a probe one day on my buddy's Jim's boat, because his downriggers are so fast, the old Big John speed riggers, boy, those things are just smoking fast. I brought that thing up and I hit the down by accident and I bounced that downrigger ball, and I watched that downrigger ball in the probe just spiral down to the bottom of Lake Michigan in about 150 foot of water. So I didn't jump in after it. I thought about it for a couple seconds, but I did not. I just hung my head in shame, walked over to the shop when we were done and bought him a new probe and a new downrigger ball. If you haven't lost a downrigger ball and a probe, you will. If you fish long enough, you will. But I think those rubber snubbers will definitely tilt the odds in your favor for not losing them in the future. Does color really matter on slide divers? You know, Dustin, I'm going to go back to my old standby. I run black divers on everything. My slide divers, I paint those black also. It's worked for me. It's worked for tons of other captains over the years that I've talked to and fishing on other boats. Black just works. And there's a lot of people out there that will debate back and forth over diver color. And some guys swear by it and some don't. For me, I just stick with what works. So it's always been black for me. That's a real good question, though. All right, so I wanted to say this also. Let me find, where is that? So, I'm going to put this together right here. This package that I'm putting together is another Matt Presnitz custom package that he put together for me to give away. So, I'm putting this together. This is from Matt Presnitz. Whoever, we're going to do the same thing we did last week. Closest to the number, 1 to 1,000. When this video is over, you got to go back on the video and leave your comment then. You can't do it now. You will have to leave the comment once the video is over, once it's done processing. Leave a comment on there. You got to hit the like button, please. That's just a cheap, easy way, shady way for me to buy a like off you. But hit the like button. Pick a number down in the comments section, 1 to 1,000. Whoever gets closest is going to win this package. And this is from Matt Presnitz again. Well, super great guy. But this is what you're going to get. You're going to get the 6-inch Spin Doctor. You're going to get 2 of the Lure Jensen Bright Cherry Red Dodgers. And those things are coho destroyers. Peanut fly behind there. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're going to get, speaking of peanut flies, you're going to get a whole bag of hand-tied peanut flies. Matt tied these up himself, and they look darn good. I don't even know how many are in there. There's got to be 12 of them in there, I think. Really, really nice. You're going to get those. You're going to get the Double Orange Crust Gold Back Super Slim. You're going to get the Buffalo Bill Super Slim. You're going to get the Firecracker Super Slim. You're going to get the Spotted Magic Man Super Slim. Man, that's a good one. You're going to get 2 of the Brad Thin Fins, the red with the orange squiggles, or the black squiggles, rather. And you're going to get the Orange Fire Tiger Brads as well, all in this package. Then from me, I am going to throw 20 bucks in the bag for gas for the boat. Throw some gas in your boat for me. And that's my way of saying thank you for watching my channel. So that 20 bucks is going in there also. Bloop. So somebody's going to get a real nice package. Real nice package. So when the video's over, just pick a number. Pick a number, 1 to 1,000. And whoever's closest next Sunday, we will pick that winner out. What else you guys want to talk about? Jeff Russell, you are very much welcome. Jason, thank you for commenting. Jim Dombrowski, good to see you, buddy. Scott, man, good to see you here. Okay, my mom's picking a number already. Mom, you got to wait till the video's over, and then you pick a number in the comments. You got it wrong anyway. All right. Hey, Greg Golub's here. Greg is the genius behind the Tangle Tackle website. Let me say this. Thank you for everybody that's made this website such a success. Just such a success. Orders have been coming in. So many people coming on here, calling the shop, looking on the website, looking at the analytics of the site. I'm just so impressed and just amazed by all the people that are just coming to the website, coming to the store. And even if you're not buying, hey, yeah, just coming on there and looking around, man, we just love seeing that. We love seeing the people here. And then also, if you haven't yet, make sure you sign up for your subscription. Become a member. Become a private subscriber to the Tangle Tackle website. If you go on TangleTackleCompany.com, right on that front page, you put your email address in there. You become a member. You get great deals, just like last week. We ran a 3-day deal, 25% off all the 8 and 10-inch Spin Doctors, and you guys basically wiped us out. Just wiped it out. So thank you so much for everybody that's doing that. And again, remember, this website is just a week old or two, just a week or two old. So this is still just a newborn baby. We're still getting it up and running. We're still dealing with a lot of product problems. Shipping everywhere is just crawling. We've been waiting on supplies. When people have promised us they'll be there in a week, it's been a month. So we're putting everything together as fast as we can, but we are being held back by a lot of other things that are way out of our control. So thank you for everybody for your patience and whatnot, and the little hiccups here and there. Really do appreciate it. Sean Slaughter bought too many spin doctors. There's no such thing, Sean, as too many spin doctors. Go look in my boat. Go look at my boat, and you'll tell me if you got too many, because I know I do. All right. How long are we in here? 35 minutes. I got 133 people watching. I got almost 70 thumbs up. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Mark Pearson. Thanks, man. He's splitting the gas cost with me. Thank you, dude. Mark Somerville. Okay. You guys are awesome. You guys are the best. Thank you. Thanks for the super chat, guys. That definitely does help the channel out. Also, the thumbs up, like I said, that's a huge the thumbs up are huge for the channel. The more of those I get, the more the channel gets, the more the videos get put out into the recommended sections of people on YouTube. So it's a huge deal. Thank you. All right, guys, you got anything else you want to talk about? I can stay here all night. I can do this all day. Comments are starting to slow. I haven't seen a whole lot of questions come in, and what I did miss, I know Scott was right there, Johnny on the spot, answering those up. All right, guys, let's wind her down then. It's Sunday. It's a beautiful day outside. Every day is a beautiful day, but it is beautiful outside. It's warm out. It's like it's 50-some degrees. To me, that's really warm. Any word on the Okuma Convector 55HS and rods for lead core? So I run the 55L and the LS for my lead core. I'm not real familiar with the HS, and maybe that's just a typo. But yeah, we got some in stock. We might not actually. But yeah, they're great reels for lead core. Absolutely. What do you look for when using the Fishhawk? For me, Jason C., it's all about speed and temp. It's all about speed and temp. In fact, one of the segments I talked about on that reel-to-reel outdoors, we talked about how often you change baits. And I said, honestly, I'm not changing that often, because if I'm not catching fish, there's probably something else going on that's wrong. And the first thing I look at is my speed. What's my speed at my downrigger ball? And then my temperature. Where's my temperature at? Am I in the right temperature range for the fish? Am I at the right speed? Now, of course, speed varies daily, but you can never go wrong with around 2 to 2.2, maybe even 2.4. And for temps, I make it simple. Because my brain can't handle a whole lot of pressure, I make it real simple. I look for 50 degree and below water. That's what I'm looking for. Except in the morning and in the evening, the fish will come out of temp. They will come up into the warmer water to feed. Excuse me. But other than that, I'm looking for 50 degree or warm or colder water. Not warmer water, 50 degree or colder water. All right, when am I planning on launching your boat? Probably just a couple weeks away, Steve. And yeah, there are a couple docks in Manistee right now. Can you show how to rig a snubber on a downrigger ball? Yeah, I can do that next week. We can do that. Yeah, I'll bring in that dead set release that I have from Dreamweaver, and I know we got some downrigger balls here someplace. We'll get that set up. Yeah, we can do that. All right, don't forget. Let's wind this down. What pound lead core do you like on the Great Lakes? Standard 27. That's fine. I do like the micro lead core. I do like the micro. I think that it does fish a little better than the standard lead core. All right, don't forget, when this is over, leave a comment. Pick a number, 1 to 1,000. 1 to 1,000. Somebody's going to win this really, really nice package. All right, let's wind her down. And guys, thanks again to the super chatters that jumped on there and did that. Thank you very much for that. Not sure if we'll do the pro segment again or like this segment like this next week. If I do these like every single week, I'm going to run out of topics way too fast. So maybe every couple weeks, maybe a couple times a month or once a month, something like that. We'll get those topics out there though as we roll into the summertime. I'm hoping to do a lot of these out on the boat also. All right, let's get out. Thanks again, guys, gals, everyone. Thumbs up back to you. Let's wind her down. Have a safe week. Be safe. Take care of yourselves out there. It's a crazy world. We'll see y'all next Sunday.